What is up, YouTube? It's Brian here from Boardwipe Gaming. Coming off MM35, Moralltach Monthly 35. I won number 34, and I could not repeat. I lost in top 8. I maybe shouldn't have. I think I played pretty poorly game 3 against Lightsworns. I think I had the resources to maybe take that game, and I didn't. So we'll see when we get into the replay. But yeah, this is the list I played. I changed things up a bit. I've taken Debunk out of the main deck, which is I don't know. I've got 2 in the side now, and then I put a second Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare back in, which ended up being okay. I mean, I did draw both of them once with 2 Merms, so I searched Bottomless, and the next turn I tried to search something else, and then I forgot. I knew I played 2, and I thought I'd only drawn 1, so I was looking through my deck, and I couldn't find it, and then I checked my back row, and both of them were right next to each other. I was like, crap. So I put 2 back in. I think this card is good against like the artifacts, of course. It's good against Gear X, negates the effect, and it misses timing when it goes to grave. I've been playing for one for a long time. I don't know if I'm going to stick with 2. Worked out for the most part this tournament, but we'll see if that stays. And then the side deck's pretty much the same, other than I took out 1 card to move the Debunk to the side, and that card I genuinely don't remember what it was, to be honest. I also switched up the extra deck 1 card. I'm playing a second Honor Arc, and I took out Giant Hand. I found myself going through these tournaments and just never summoning Giant Hand. There was never a time where I was like, oh my gosh, if I summon Giant Hand, they can't win. And I know those situations happen, but they don't happen enough for me to really like want to have a Giant Hand in here over something like a second Honor Arc. I don't remember if I ever summoned 2 this tournament, but I think I do like the idea, so we'll keep going with it. See how it goes. But yeah, other than that, the deck hasn't changed much. It's just hat. It's just hat. So we'll go into the replays. Round 1 was against a Card Car, Curry Bandit, Artifact, Trap Trick deck. I won the roll. Got Merm Duality. Most of this game is pretty straightforward. There is a moment at the end where I think they probably played incorrectly into an Ignition Battle Phase skip. I duality here instead of Dio, just because Dio's going to be good next turn too. So I wanted to dig through the deck a little bit more, see what I could find. I let the call resolve here because 2 of the 3 hits were good for me. Well, I guess it was a real 50-50, Bottomless or Ignition, because yeah, they just weren't gonna pop the known Moralltach, but. And if they hit the Bottomless, I do have the Breakthrough if I felt the need to protect it. They hit the Ignition. I hit the Beagletalk with the Ignition, and I break through the Beagletalk because I know that's a Moralltach. And then they summon Eccentric Boy. Hadn't seen that card. And then, yeah, they put this in attack mode. I don't know if attack or defense really makes that much of a difference because I'm outing that, and that being on the field isn't the part that's important, probably. I have a Dio coming back. And here, so Moralltach there, Beagletalk there, Beagletalk there, Moralltach there. I assume, and I knew the Soul Charge in hand. So two Moralltachs? I don't know. I was surprised when they were out of targets. So I lost the rank 4 there because of the Sanctum, but it just didn't matter. They couldn't draw out. They were really behind. Game 2, they open Double Cyclone, but not really a good Double Cyclone target, so they don't do it in the end phase. And then they don't attack here. And then I have Ignition Double Cyclone, which is really good. I leave the Fire Hand set because I know there's... I thought there was a Bottomless here. I assumed the Bottomless got set, but the Bottomless actually got held, so... I didn't summon the Fire Hand there because of a Bottomless. This isn't a real 50-50. I think he knows this Moralltach, so I don't know why they flipped the coin, but they did hit the Sanctum. And they break through with the Beagletalk. But yeah, so here I don't know if it's a misplay or if it's just unlucky. I didn't switch this to attack mode to out the Myrmilio. I wasn't playing around D-Prison, and I felt like leaving it in defense with 21 was not the worst thing in the world. And then after that, I knew the Bottomless was set somewhere, so I didn't flip the Fire Hand up. Then my Ice Hand got D-Prison, and then I drew Thunder Dragon to make a rank 5 here. So now I don't know if that's a real misplay or if it's just not, but I drew Myrm, which is good. And then I set the Bottomless for some reason. That was pretty silly. I shouldn't have done that. So that was a definite misplay. Not switching the Beagletalk to attack mode to play around a D-Prison could have gone either way. And then he tried to break through on my turn, and then apparently I sacked him. I don't know. I feel like we both drew decent cards there this game. Maybe I drew a bit better, but it is what it is. That's round 1. Round 2, we played against Madolche. Game 1, they just didn't draw a monster. I don't need to know if we need to watch the whole thing. Like debunk, debunk. I drew a lot of Myrms. Or maybe just one Myrm and just traps. That didn't matter. Because they didn't draw a monster. So we'll just go next game. We don't need to watch the rest of that. Game 2, I think I misplayed a little bit. I don't know if there's a way to play it better because Hootcake is level 3. So even if I mind control it, I couldn't do anything with it. We'll get to that game state in a second. We do some stuff and some things. I set some cards. It's possible I should have just warninged this instead of Max C. Hard to know. That gets breakthrough, which hurts. And then I lose my warning, which sucks. And then he does some stuff. I top Ignition here, which is nice. But then, yeah, so I have this line. I have Dio, blah, blah, blah. Summon Myrm, and then I mind control this. Because in my head, I was like, oh, I can honor like this, attack over this, do some damage. This can't die by battle. So, leaving that kind of sucked. I could have soul charged after I honor arced to make a black ship to get rid of the Hootcake. And that might have done something. But, so like even... like, I don't know. The extra Hootcake, I think, really kind of mattered a little bit. Because that allowed him to get to the rank 4. Oh, no, they had mind control. Oh, mind control. I was going to have 2 Exceeses, though, so. Yeah. I think it probably mattered. I don't know if I died this turn, so I didn't check my top deck. And I wouldn't have had this soul charge. But yeah, it might have mattered. I should have used the soul charge there and not left the hoot cake. I just didn't realize it couldn't die by battle. And then in this game, it's just a monster brick. Like, these cards don't do a whole lot. And then I had 3 artifacts, so 2 artifacts, 2 artifacts, and I top decked a Moralltach too. So yeah, from here is just game over. So we take round 2, and then we play my least favorite matchup because I'm so bad. It's Girgia, and I lost RPS. I need more sleep. I had some early morning pickleball today. Yeah, they do Girgia things. I felt like I got a little unlucky here. So I was like, oh, this double cyclone isn't going to be very good because yeah, I didn't have an artifact with it. So it's like, if I can get rid of this set card here, that puts me at a little bit of an advantage. He can do some stuff, but like not a whole lot, and this fire hand can maybe go in. And then, unfortunately, it was an MST, so I lost my call. I lost a lot of follow-up, and now he's got 2 armors set. I Exiton here, but unfortunately, the hand goes in. And yeah, summoning Exiton in defense mode doesn't really do anything either, because then the fire hand just attacks over and sticks, or I use the Exiton and the same end result happens. So, and then Wiretap doesn't do anything, and then I'm just, yeah, I'm very behind. I lose this game, as one does. And then I get to go first this game, and like, this isn't like horrible for me, I don't think. It's not like a bad start. I don't set the acid right away, and then unfortunately I didn't leave myself. I maybe shouldn't have set the bottomless. I didn't leave myself a way to make acid chainlink 2 without wasting a sanctum. Like, if I don't set the bottomless, I can like ignition one of his cards, chainlink 1, and then acid chainlink 2, and that plays around the hand. Unlucky that it was a hand, but if I hold the bottomless here, maybe that's a bit better, because now there's 2 MST targets, 3 MST targets. Like, if I don't set the bottomless, I ignition a random card here, and then if I hit the MST, they MST something that helps me. And if I don't, I get advantage, and I make the fire hand miss timing, cut off the ice hand. Like, so I didn't think of that in time, unfortunately. So now he sets the armor. My Dio gets warninged, which sucks. I still think I'm okay. I can make the ice hand miss timing with the torrential. Still gets MK2. But I have a Beagletalk. Option 1, that gets breakthrough, but I still have Sanctum to out the armor, and that gets Fiendish chained. And I lose my bottomless. So now, since he knows this is a moral, he can just go off. Attacks over that. And of course, after all of that, my ice hand gets debunked. So very unfortunate series of events that could have been potentially avoided if I didn't set the bottomless and I just chained the ignition, or I activated the ignition and then chained the acid trap hole there. So a slight misstep that could have changed the outcome of the game. Especially if I hit the warning off the ignition, my Dio goes, my Dio either goes through or gets breakthrough fiendish, and then my Beagle or a Moral resolves outing the armor. Yeah, I actually think the whole tide of the game changes because he never gets this first Gear X, which means I'm left with 2 5s, and I get to summon a rank 5. So, game 2 definitely winnable. Unfortunate, but we learn. Get out of here. So now, round 4, I play against another Gear. Win RPS this time. And I think most of this match I just outdrew my opponent. I had lots of Vermilios game 1. And a Dio off of the duality, which is nice. And I get play through the needle ceiling, black ship the ice hand. I lose the black ship there, but good for me. I get to out the warning in the end phase, and I draw another Myrmilio. So instead of using a hand to make the honor arc, I just get to get a +1 and then do it anyway. Soul charge for 4, and then that gets bottomless, and then he just can't play. Do another black ship send. My acid trap hole gets wiretapped. He has mind control. I summoned Scythe here. It could have been a Moralltach to out the Gear Accelerator. That does the same thing. It forces the dark hole early. I get torrential there, so my ice hand misses timing, but that's okay. I torrential his thing back, and then I call, hit the debunk, and then I draw another Myrmilio. So I just have trap holes after trap holes after trap holes. So yeah, just nothing to do there. Unlucky for extra power. Round 5, I play the gadget player that beat me round 1 of the Hat World Championship. I went 3-2. I think I got 10th or something, and it was top 8. And that's because I lost round 1 to Vulpix. The only notes I have about this match is that they didn't draw chain summoning, so a lot of this is pretty straightforward. I do make a slight misstep here by attacking with Myrmilio. He thinks about lancing and doesn't. I should have attacked the yellow with Ice Hand. And as I clicked declare attack with Myrmilio, I was like, that was maybe a mistake. But yeah, there's nothing. They didn't really draw anything to play through the Ice Hand, so they've got to set a bunch of this stuff because I just pick apart the board if they don't, which is nice for me. And then they did that probably to like mitigate my Fire Hand when it comes out, but fortunately for me, I had a breakthrough, so I was able to out the Honor Arc. And the Ice Hand pokes for some damage, and now I get to set a Sanctum. I get Dark Hold, but that just doesn't really matter because I have a lot of advantage. Oh, this is the game where I drew double Trap, Trick, Trap, Hole, Nightmare. When I tried to search with that second move, there was just no targets. Yeah, so we take game 1. No chain summoning. Bless. And then they drew no gadgets game 2. Double Kage. I have another Ice Hand. They have Debunk and Warning for it. But I have Ignition Sanctum. My Beagle Talk gets Breakthrough. Unlucky. My Ice Hand gets sent. Oh no. But I have another one. So I hit the debunk off the Ignition, which is nice. So when this Ice Hand gets Warning, I just get to call it back. Out the last card, out the Black Ship. I don't get another Ice Hand because I sided one out. But I get to attack for 14. And right now I'm just up advantage and life. Like I've got a lot of pressure. The Moralltach gets Cycle Readered, but I'm doing 3,000 damage, put him at 200. Get Dark Hold, but a top deck Soul Charge gives me Cowboy for game. So we're down to the last round of Swiss. Oh, it glitched. This Ice Hand was supposed to be engraved. I make a Cowboy here and I win. Last round of Swiss. I play a mirror match. This game isn't like super interesting. Starlight was pretty new to the hat deck and hadn't really gone through and gotten to learn a lot of the intricacies in the mirror. So I got the edge a few times where I maybe shouldn't have. I got to out 2 of his back with the double Cyclone. I hit a Sanctum, unfortunately. Lost the call, but that's okay. I didn't lose the Bottomless. And then Tyrus just kind of puts in a lot of work here. Yeah, the set Soul Charge. It's just almost never a good... There's almost never a good reason to bluff a set with a Soul Charge. Like, losing it just really hurts. I sacrifice the Trap, Trick, Trap, Hole, Nightmare here just to out the hand cycle. Because Tyrus can pop the Fire Hand at the end of the battle phase. I set the Fire Hand because Bottomless and Torrential are still somewhere, allegedly. No! Oh, I hate this. This has happened a few times. Gross. Stupid Xfinity. Okay. Well, we were just, I think, at a point where, oh yeah. So at the end of all of that, after I had used both Tyrus effects, he Solemn Warninged my Sanctum, which allowed me to pop the double Cyclone that didn't have another target, so he couldn't pop his Moralltach, and then I attacked with Tyrus for game. We don't need to watch the rest of that. And then game 2. Set 5, I get Ignition, I lose my Warning. Unfortunate. And then here, I Bottomless, and then I lose the Fire Hand there, but that's okay. And then I can Chainlink unsummon, Chainlink 1 double cycle, Chainlink 2 Torrential. So I got both hands to miss timing, which is great. Still only +1 right now, but and this is the key moment here. They got confused with how Chainlinks make the hands miss timing. They did Moralltach Chainlink 1, tried to do Transmigration Prophecy Chainlink 2. to make the hand miss timing, but it has to be flipped. And it can't be flipped because Moralltach is a trigger on summon. So they ended up wasting the Transmigration Prophecy, and the Fire Hand still resolved, which just pushed me up much more advantage. I have the debunk for the top decked Fire Hand. I have a Soul Charge, so I just put 2 hands on the field instead of Breakthrough. I'm not worried about the Merm because getting a bottomless doesn't matter when I can crash the Ice Hand into it. Or if he just outs the Ice Hand himself, then I just have 2 Fire Hands. Or if he outs the Merm by attacking the Fire Hand, I have 2 Fire Hands. I can break through the Dio. Now I have 2 Fire Hands. And it just almost didn't even really matter what that set was. Pop 1, summon another Fire Hand, black ship that. They're top decking into a Breakthrough and a Merm card. So yeah, we take that one, we get to top 8. And here's where I think I misplayed game 3. I know I misplayed game 3. I think I should have won, but it's gonna be hard to know. Well, maybe not. Maybe I watched it once earlier today, and I'll go through it again. Game 1, I opened double Sanctum, Moralltach double Cyclone. I'm just I decided to out the Card Trooper early to not like mess around with the mills and hitting wyverns and stuff. I poked for 58 here, which is huge. Make a Pleiades. I have another Sanctum and bottomless set. It's possible I should have Pleiades this on summon. But the Card Trooper draw didn't get him there, so we win game 1 against a matchup that's kind of hard, because if Light Sworns goes off, if they explode, it's really hard. The deck just doesn't do a whole lot if it doesn't, so unfortunately game 2. Okay, here I took Dio because I was like, well, I don't have any real monsters, right? So Cycle Reader, Crow. But if I just take Moralltach and then Sanctum, summon Beagletalk, if that goes... Oh, no, there's a Breakthrough Engrave. Never mind. Yeah, it's just really tough. It's possible that to bait the Breakthrough, if I take a Moralltach instead of this, I can set Sanctum, Breakthrough, Moralltach, Ignition. I can Ignition the Moralltach, summon the Moralltach, maybe bait the Breakthrough, and then Sanctum, and then set a Moralltach off the Ignition. Then Sanctum, summon Beagletalk, hit 2 Moralltachs. The problem is that first Moralltach was probably going to get crowed instead of Breakthrough. And then the Beagletalk would get Breakthrough, and then I still just have dead cards. So yeah, there wasn't like, I didn't know about the Crow, so that's what I should have done. But the end result is just, there's no real way I could have won this game, I don't think. Especially like a Cycle Reader too, so I mean, we can see the writing on the wall. There's a Soul Charge, there's a Cycle Reader, there's a Crow. Ignition goes back on top. I'm drawing dead, and I can't win this game. So game 3. This is the game I want to talk about the most. I want people's thoughts. Alright, so I go first. I open 2 hands, Maxi Crow. Raiden, fine. He mills Revival Golem, which is amazing. I warning this. Puts me in not a bad spot. They pass turn. I flip the Fire Hand. I put in 3,200 early. That's a good start. Lumina, Pitch, Wyvern. I think about this for a good minute, and what I decide to do is Crow the Wyvern as Chain Link 2 after it's been pitched for cost, and then I'm going to Bottomless the Raiden. The problem was I watched this player's replays, and I watched them Lance and Exiton like 3 different times to make it resolve in Swiss. And when I was thinking about bottomlessing the Raiden, Lance just wasn't on my mind at all. And like, if I'm thinking about it, if they have Lance for the Raiden, they can Black Rose these, which puts them, which kills both of the fire hands and puts him pretty far ahead. Or the Michael banishes one at a time. So I decided to Crow the Wyvern to try and cut off the JD. And I think I like overvalued how good the Wyvern was going to be with the JD this early in the game. I'd already put 32 up. Honest can't push through Fire Hands because I take the damage and I pop the Lumina, summon an Ice Hand, and then I just put in more damage. They actually just die if they Honest. Because then I have 14, 14, 16, that's 44, and then a Cowboy. So if I just Crow the Raiden here, I think I just win the game. They don't have a way to do anything here. That's so tough. If I just Crow the Raiden, I overvalued the Wyvern. I don't even need to max C here. I just Crow the Raiden, and then Wyvern banishes something. They don't have a Dragon Ruler, so they just probably set Lance and pass. But I made a bad play that lost to Lance. And they were going to top deck JD next turn too, so even if I don't kill them, their plays are just bad. Oh no, the Wyvern was going to go off, so their top deck was going to be completely different. But yeah, they summon Michael here, banish a Fire Hand, mill 4, get a Wolf in end phase. Mill 3? Mill 3. Okay, so if they had just set Lance and passed, they would have milled Wolf in the end phase. I would have... except the mills would have been different too. So it's hard to know exactly what would have happened, because the mills would have been different because they would have banished the JD off of the Wyvern. But what would be the same is I would still have 2 Fire Hands and be able to normal summon an Ice Hand and have Max C and DD Crow. So I could push through the Lumina. Let's say they didn't mill a Wolf. I attack for 600 over Lumina. 14 with Ice Hand, that's 2,000. 16 with Fire Hand, that's 3,600. They were at 48. That puts them to 12. I probably summon a Dweller. Maybe. It's going to depend on the mills. If they mill a Dragon Ruler off of the Lumina in the end phase, summon a Dweller, that kills that. Or just summon Rhapsody with the Ice Hand and the Fire Hand. Leave 1 Fire Hand on the field, summon a Rhapsody, banish some of the Lightsworn names. There's a lot. There's a lot I could have done. And I just, in the moment, just made the wrong choice. And that is so frustrating. Because I think I should have won this game. But I did not. So now they are in top 4 and I am not. Actually, are they in top 4? Let's see. Yeah, they are currently in top 4 versus Watts No, not Watts. Watts was in the other side of the bracket. Where's Challenge? It's Molson, and Molson was playing something. I don't even know. But regardless, this should be me. This should be me. I wanted a back-to-back so bad. Back-to-back wins would have been very cool. Back-to-back tops is cool enough. But yeah, we lost to ourselves. Game 3 of top 8. Unlucky. We'll get them next time. So yeah, that is where my run ended. Shout out to all of my friends for always giving me shit for only playing hat and hat format. I don't know. That's what I like the best. Maybe I'll play Gear one of these days. But yeah, keep a lookout. Mark has topped 2 of these online Time Wizard events. He got second place at the like 50, 60 something player Tengu tournament. The Tengu Multi-Mania. It was a multi-day Tengu Mania. He got second place. Just got outdrawn in the finals. Super unlucky. We're gonna have some of those replays soon. And then he also got top 8 at this Moralltach Monthly. And we were on opposite sides of the bracket. Where was he? Familiar. So yeah, if if we could have met in the finals, that would have been very cool. But he got 2-0'd in 5 minutes by Watts because he got outdrawn. Unfortunate. But videos with those replays will be coming soon. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next month.